Here's a way to make your own markbook using Google Sheets and to turn it into a parent or student portal. While you're in Drive, click Create, and we're going to make a spreadsheet. I'm going to put some information into this spreadsheet as an example, but you could set it up any way you liked. So I've put in some sample column headings and a little bit of student data, just the first name and surname. In the code column, what I want to do is just put in a random mix of numbers and letters. It doesn't have to be long, it just has to be unique. In the URL column, I'm going to paste a formula for a URL, and I'll explain how it works. This formula is going to look for any row in the table that matches this cell, which will give you your column headings, and it's going to look for any information that matches this cell. So that be specific to each student. Now go to Share, where it says Private under You Can Access, click Change, and you want to select anyone with the link can view. Save that, and then in this big long code along the top where it says Link to Share, I want you to highlight where it says D/, and then there's a long sequence of numbers and letters all the way to the next slash. Highlight over that with the left mouse button pressed and press Ctrl and C to copy that. Click Done, and then we're going to the formula that I'll give you, and where it says key equals, you're going to highlight that long series of numbers and letters all the way along to the ampersand just before GID, and you're going to paste the code that you copied. It's worth pointing out that GID is the sheet number, and when you've only got one sheet, that's 0. If you want the code to refer to a second sheet, then it becomes GID equals 1. A third sheet, GID equals 2, and so on and so forth. Right, let me just finish that formula then and check that it works. And so that loads up only the one student that we want there, and the column headings. I'll close that. And then to make it available for the other students as well, you can just highlight that cell, copy it, and then paste it into other cells. And so now the URL here should relate to Rosalind. And that seems to be working as we expected it. So I'm going to close that now. Now I find having those big long URLs quite unwieldy if you want to, put them in an email or make them available to students. Then it's sometimes useful to have a short URL for them. And I'm going to use a little extension that I got through the Chrome store called goo.gl URL shortener extension. And I'm going to take the code, big long link there, and I'm going to paste it in here, and it will shorten that for me. And I'm going to paste the short URL in next door. I'm going to do that for each of my long URLs. And now instead of having a really long link, these short ones should serve exactly the same purpose. Brilliant. And you can even get rid of, if you don't like it, you can get rid of that HTTP part and just have the bit beginning with goo. Now I wouldn't delete these links entirely. It's sometimes useful to have them in your spreadsheet in case you want to put them back in or to change them, and so I'm going to copy that, I'm going to take that information and I'm going to paste it down below where any of my students are. So I've still got the information, but it's going to free up this column, and what that'll do is when I follow the short link, let's use one of these ones, it now takes out all of that extra data that you don't need. Now, so that you can copy the codes for yourself from here, I'm going to make this spreadsheet available to you, and I'm going to take the URL from the top, I'm going to shorten it, and I'm going to paste that in as the name of the document. I'm going to take out that HTTP bit. And so what you can do, if you want to see this and you want to copy the code into your own spreadsheet before modifying it as I've shown you, you just need to type in this URL, or this shortened URL, into a browser, and it will bring you to this web page, this spreadsheet. So you can take the information and make your own spreadsheet, your own markbook, and turn it into a portal so that parents and students can be given one link that doesn't change throughout the year, and then access their information from it. So just to demonstrate, it might be that you've done a homework task with your students, you've marked it, and you want to give them a score. And so we'll pop in some scores for each of the students here. And maybe you want to give them some short bit of written feedback. And what should happen is that when they follow that link that you've given them, any information you add to that spreadsheet will immediately be visible by somebody following that link. So I make this link available to parents and to students so they can keep up to date with what's going on in class. They can check if they've missed any homeworks, if they've been absent, and what they need to catch up on. Alright, I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, just drop me a line. It's doug.walker@stpats.school.nz.